MK and I am here with Stretch the Sketch, and we are going to be shrinking or stretching this sketch by Kelly Hollifield. Sorry about that. I am also playing with Off the Board because this sketch can be found on Pinterest. And don't forget to use your stuff, which is something that Janet and I are doing all month long. We're breaking into the hoarded stuff, the stash stuff, everything that is uber super old within our limits. So I've also pulled out this dice game to help me use my stuff. So I rolled a 2 and a 4, and right now I am looking for I don't know, something from my color bin that I might have already pulled out, scraps that I might have already pulled out, tiny words, something like that. So I did not find anything of that kind that I've already pulled out. So I pulled out my color bin, and in my color bin now is my washi tape. So whether I pull the washi tape from the number 4 or because it's in my color bin, or I pull it from number 5, at least I will be using it, because when I realize how I use washi, 1 inch at a time is going to take me forever. So I decided to go ahead and give me two chances to pull in some washi. So I did pick some washi for my color bin. I also have my overflow of enamel dots in my washi, in my color bin as well. But I'm not seeing the stars I was looking for. I thought that I had some puffy stars, but I couldn't find them. But I did find this pom-pom trim that's been in my stash for quite a while. I did pull out a puffy like fabric star, but I thought it was too much. Plus the fact that I only have one. I don't even know why I had that one to begin with. I pulled it out and then I pull it out again. So I'm actually going to see if I can't use that puffy star with the gold stars on it, because of the fact that that's the name of the game. Use your stuff. And then the farther that I dug, the more I found these little baggies that I put together. I thought that I would put these little baggies together and put them in my like travel bags. And then I'd have a small arrangement of brads and whatnot. Well, they never made it into my travel bag. They stayed in my bulky bins, and that was it. So I'm going to pull those out and see what I can do. I'm looking at my flare. I am just looking all around, making sure that I gave everything a good once over and an opportunity. So for my scrap, I'm going to pull in this piece, I believe from Kaisercraft. Yes, Factory 42. So I'm going to bring that in. I think it's Factory 42. No, I think it's the Workshop Collection is what it says. I apologize. And then I need to bring in my enamel dots because I did not bring in any from the blue bin. But what I'm looking for is something on the coppery side, something on, I have all this blue and I wanted to bring in something else. So I'm looking at my blue and then I see this is my black and white. And in my black and white, I have these iridescents. And I thought, oh, those might work. Okay, let's pull those out and see what I can do. So I'm going to pull those out. Those are from a Stampin' Up! Paper Pumpkin kit. And then there was a couple other things in that little baggie that caught my eye as well that I'm going to bring out because there's just a few left. So might as well use the stuff, right? And then also I found these really dark blue. They're not quite black, but they are a very dark blue. So, hey, let's bring those in too. All right. And then, of course, I have tiny words. So I'm going to try to use these Felicity Jane elements that I got. I got this cute little ephemera pack, an alpha set, as well as a 6x6 paper pad from Cindy from a retreat. And then the other Felicity Jane packet came from Joni. And so I thought that I would throw those in because the yellows matched what I wanted, but the tiny words did not. So I went to my Prima and pulled out that tiny word book that I have. Again, tiny words are not my friends, so I really need to use those. And I'm trying to use 3 to 5 at a time. That way I can get them used up. I have 3 photos I'm going to put on my layout. And like I said, I got this little cute set from Joni and then this cute little packaged set from Cindy. It even says Happy Scrappin' from Cindy. So that was super cute. I like how they all coordinate. I'm not sure if they came that way or whatnot, but I do like that. However, I really wanted to pull in the yellows from these little sets. So, but I'm not really sure if they do end up making it on this layout. I also have some uber old One Canoe 2 little constellation stickers. I'm going to try to use those up. I have some constellation cut files that I got in a kit club. I'm going to try to use those up because they're a couple years old. I think they came with these larger stars. And then I have a ton of punched out little 3D stars from my orange punches. I think they're called découpe punches or découpe punches. I'm not really sure, but I found a bunch in my Cocoa Vanilla stash. So I put them all together so they're all in one spot now. I can see how many I have. They've already got the sticky on them and everything. So I'm going to use them. I'm trying to show you guys that they are really, truly 3D. They make my heart so happy having those stars, and to the fact that I found some already done up and ready to be put on a layout. That's even better. I also fussy cut out a couple, I think 2 months ago during May I Scrap Lift You. I cut those out. I don't remember the name of the paper that I cut them out of. So I have those I'm going to try to add to this layout. And then I have a scrap that I used to die cut out stitched stars. Now these stitched stars come stitched inside and outside. So when you get the negative also has a stitch around them. And the way that I put them through my die cut machine, well, actually it was, I think Lynn's die cut machine at another retreat. I put them through to where they made this really cool border. So let's see if I can't use that border as an element on my page. I have from Asuka, the Spellbound, paper that I'm going to use as my base page. The two papers before that were from Craft Consortium, the metals collection or something like that. I'm going to use the blue side on this or for my layout, and then of course the Kaiser Craft scrap that I picked out so I can say that I rolled the die and used a scrap. All right, so I'm going to trim my photos down pretty small because I shrunk my page down to 8.5 by 11. At least this time I remembered to actually shrink it. Last time I was so excited to do that layout that I just totally spaced doing anything. I made it as a 12 by 12 because I just loved the sketch so much. So anywho, this time I remembered to trim it down right off the bat without even second guessing what I was going to do. All right, but I did need to trim my photos down quite a bit. So I've got the twins again. I've done this layout before, but these are different photos from a different year. I try to get different angles. I try to get, something different. And this time I got a close-up of the plaque that is on their pedestal that they stand on. And this statue, even though it's supposed to represent, the twins of Twin Falls, right? Twin Falls, Idaho. For me, it's always reminded me of, Gemini, the zodiac sign. And so that's why I went with the star theme for this particular layout, is because of the fact that when I see these two and they're intertwined the way they are, it just reminds me of the zodiac sign Gemini. So that is my long story short of why I am doing it. The kids, it is so funny. Kids are so funny. Every time they see the statue, I know for me, it's been 3 times now that I've paid attention that they do this. But every time, 3 times now that they've seen this statue, and especially the older they get, the more they go, "Oh, that's new." No, it's older than you are. Like, seriously, that's what they say when they see the statue, like it's brand new. And maybe it still looks brand new because, the city maintains it. They even put a gate around it. So back, my other photos that I have scrapbooked of this, I don't have the gate because it used to just be the statue. And you didn't have to, tell people not to touch things that aren't theirs. But apparently now you do. All right, so for this scrap piece of, I guess it's leftovers, I'm going to go ahead and use my Shimmers Penny in Your Pocket, which is the new color splash. So I went ahead and gave it that rose gold coppery color. And then for my constellations, I went ahead and used my Dina Wakley in the glitz color, which is her gold. And I'm going to intertwine these constellations inside my film strip. So that way it looks like the film strip is almost like a film reel of the constellations. And then of course I've got these little stickers going on, and I debated about inking the white edges, but then again I thought, no, I really like them. And of course I'm sitting here going, oh, I know that's the Big Dipper. It could be the Little Dipper because I don't have anything to compare it to. Here's Cassiopeia. And, I'm just going through all of the really cool constellations that I can recognize. I can't say that I know what all of them are, but I thought it was pretty cool. And then, of course, as I am doing this layout, I realize I have stamps that I could have made a pretty cool background for using my constellations. And so it's like, oh my God, why did I not do that? But, well, because I'm trying to use my stuff. Even though using the stamps is my stuff, I still felt really good using up the Asuka paper, using up these constellations I've had for a good 3 years, maybe 2 if I'm lucky. I've just had them for a while. And of course those, One Canoe 2 has been how long? I think I got those in 2019. So yeah, that felt really good. All right, so for my scrap piece of stars, I decided to cut them out. I really like how this looks. And I'm creating a big border. So like my sketch, I actually flipped my sketch to the left. So now my photos are no longer vertical, they're horizontal. And then I've got those 2 pieces of paper with all those banners and whatnot going off to the right. And so now I've got a whole bunch of stars. I've got my 2 pieces of paper, which is actually the film strip, and my washi tape that's got a bunch of gold stars all over it. And then of course my banners are, my throwaway of the stars from when I did a bunch of die cutting. And then, of course, I fussy cut them out to give them an interesting look. And voila, there you go. And I just love how this little cluster is looking. It's going to be this huge, giant cluster going down the right side of my page by the time that I'm done. I stuck some flowers behind it. At this point, I didn't care if I could see the whole cluster of flowers, but I do like all those little leaves and flowers poking through my my stars. And then I had to use another one that has this purple little butterfly on it to cover up one little spot that I really didn't like. So I really like how that turned out. I really do. And then to make it match, I went ahead and put a bouquet of flowers over on the left side as well. But you guys, I'm not done yet. Seriously, I add so much to this page. So I've got this puffy star that I told myself I was going to try to use. And then I also had this empty star. And I thought, well, what if I put this star on top of this star and then filled in the empty star? But it was too puffy. Like, how on earth would I have gotten that on my layout? I don't know. So I'm going to cut it apart and only use the denim portion of that star. And now it is exactly what I needed. Now, I debated about gluing the fabric to the paper and then trimming it even more. And then I thought, no, I'm going to leave it just the way it is. It's perfect. It's as wonky as the rest of the layout. So it's beautiful. And then, of course, I went through my little brad packs and picked out my dark blue brads as well as some crystal brads that I have not played with. The shanks on those things, holy cow, you guys, they're like, the brad is like 1/8 of an inch big and the shank's 3 inches long. Are you kidding me? Those are crazy. I'm just saying. So glad to use those up. Super glad to use those up. Now I'm just making sure everything is secured. I've got fabric on my page. I've got, washi on my page. I have a cluster of cut files and leftovers and punches. And I'm super stoked with what I have all over this page, you guys. I'm taking these punches and like I said, I was super stoked that I found all these punches already pre-done, have the little sticky backs on them. All this stuff, I was like super happy. So now I just get to stick and plonk wherever I want, all over. Like I said, this border becomes ginormous. It becomes its own animal, to be honest. And I just love every bit of it. All the stars, you guys, you know me, I love stars. I'm going to go ahead and glue. Now that my paper is officially glued to my fabric, I'm going to go ahead and glue the fabric to the page. And I'm just using my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, you guys. There's nothing special, no fabric Nothing, no E6 million, nothing like that. I just use my Nuvo Deluxe. If I can't use my Nuvo Deluxe, it's not going on my page. I mean, seriously, I don't want 642 pieces of different types of glue for every little thing that I want on my page. All right, kind of forgot about the Felicity Jane goodies that I had. So I went through and I pulled out, like I said, I just wanted the yellow bits. So I've got a yellow label. I've got a yellow tag. I pulled out that yellow paper and then I thought, oh, shoot, I should have used it to back my photos. What was I thinking? Well, for one, I've only got one little piece of yellow. No, I had 2 pieces of yellow paper, so it would have worked, but it did not happen, which is fine. I'm okay. I only cried a little bit because I really wanted that yellow because it's the perfect gold to match that Dina Wakley gold glitz, you guys. Perfect color. And then, of course, I also wanted to add a title. Yeah, that's not happening either. But I wanted to add that peachy title because it looks like that coppery color from Shimmers. And there's also that peachy coppery color in the Asuka paper. And so I thought, oh my gosh, that would be perfect. Yeah, I don't even know what title I would put on here. I just love my border so much. I don't want anything else to be on my page. That's it, my border only. I'm holding down my label because I'm trying to glue it on top of some fabric, so that's what was taking a little bit longer. And that's my page. I did cut out me putting those brads on because, like I said, I fought those crystals because they're just microscopically small, but the shanks on them were longer than they needed to be. Oh my god. If I would have thought about it, I would have cut them down, but I didn't. And I used every single one of those sequins and enamel dots. Everything that I pulled out, you guys, they got slapped on this page because it was the border of all borders. I love it. I absolutely love it. All right. Now is the time I tell you guys all about Off the Board, or no, Stretch the Sketch and Off the Board, and Use Your Stuff. Oh my gosh. So Stretch the Sketch, we get together every third Sunday of the month, and we go ahead and either take a 12 by 12 layout and we shrink it or stretch it across a 2-page layout, shrink it all the way down to a card, tag, anything you want as long as it's not 12 by 12. Also, too, Off the Board, I've got a link down below for the playlist of who is playing along. Off the Board is where we take, those pins that we've been pinning for years and years and years, and we finally put them to good use. Why not? It sounds like so much fun. And then, of course, Janet and I are trying to use Janet Fritz, who is Galaxy Girl Creations here on YouTube. We are trying to use our stuff, just use our stuff, you guys. That's what we're trying to do. And so far, I'm pretty pleased with how much stuff I have used for the month of July. I think I'm going to continue doing it in August as well. So we will see. All right, you guys. Kelly, thank you so much for an amazing sketch. I really had fun with this sketch and shrinking it down to an 8.5 by 11. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I will check y'all later. Bye.